Bevan wants to debunk evolution. Bevan, you're on the line with Forrest and Erika. How are you doing today? Bevan, are you there?
Bevin, please. I was looking forward to this call.
I was too. I wanted to talk to this person. You've been waiting for 2.5 hours. Please pick up the phone and tell us about evolution.
Maybe. Oh, yes.
All right.
So,
You hear me?
yes. Bevin?
Sorry. I kind of jumped. I got off the phone for a second. All right.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
You were
We
waiting for
got
like
you
2.5 hours. It makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. You hear me? I don't even know where to
Yes.
start anymore. I came on to debunk your theory on evolution, but you answered many of my questions with the whole God conversation with the other guy.
Oh, great.
Yeah. I don't know where to start. Do you have a question to ask me?
Yeah, I mean, we'll just start with can you define evolution? Let's start there. Can you tell me what evolution is?
Okay. Evolution. I don't think that this is what I know. Evolution is, I think the evolution is the progression of man over years. You said that before many times. But I think that proper evolution to man has been corrupted, and we will not evolve like we should due to lack of truth. Because you can't evolve properly evolving from a lie. We will evolve into a different species.
There's a lot to unpack there, Bevin.
What the fuck? What? So just to be clear, the definition of evolution, Bevan, is any change in the heritable characteristics of a population over the course of multiple generations. That's all it is. So it is where humans came from, but it's also where every other species came from. Aside from the very first.
Hang on. Humans are different from animals altogether because we have the acknowledgement of knowledge, and you jumped on that with the conversation with the topic on Adam and Eve, and the whole fruit, and then ate the apple or whatever, and then they eat them not knowing. That that is one truth. Huh?
Bevan, are you saying that humans are unique mammals, or are unique animals, or are you saying that we are not animals at all?
We're not animals at all. We're definitely not animals at all.
Do you agree? Do you agree that we are mammals? Do you agree that we are mammals?
Yeah, we're mammals.
What is a mammal?
Well, actually, human is a whole different category. It can't be clumped into an animal. Period. So I guess technically
we are mammals. So what is a mammal?
Well, you tell me, because evidently I don't know.
So I just Googled it just for sake, because I could tell you my definition, but you might not believe me. So I just Googled what is a mammal, and here's the first line here: a mammal is a vertebrate animal of the class Mammalia. So mammals are animals. Humans are mammals. Therefore, humans are animals, right?
I would say human isn't an animal. So that whole Google, what you just Googled, the line that will deter humans from evolving, because we Google things thinking that it's the truth, thinking that it's the correct answer.
So then I'm not going to Google it. I will tell you that the definition of a mammal is an animal that has fur and lactates. So again, if humans are mammals, then humans are animals.
You still said
Yes, because
animal.
a mammal is a type of animal.
I said humans are animals.
Right, but
Right,
then
but
you also
humans
said
are
humans are
mammals.
mammals. Humans
Say
are
what?
mammals and mammals are animals. So you understand if A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. If humans are mammals and mammals are animals, then humans are animals.
So, by your definition, besides saying that humans are animals, what is a human?
What you mean? What kind of animal are we?
Yeah.
We are great apes.
So that's the whole. That jumps on that jumps on your topic of evolution.
Bevin,
You don't actually need evolution at all for that.
Are great apes mammals? Is a chimpanzee a mammal?
Yeah.
Right.
Chimpanzees, apes are animals.
Yeah. Why is it? Well, no. I asked if it was a mammal. Is it a mammal?
I think that
is a
we did
gorilla
not
or
evolve from apes.
chimpanzee a mammal?
I don't think that we evolved from apes. I don't think that we
I'm with
evolved from
you,
apes.
Bevin. I'm with you,
Right.
Bevin. But let's take a step back real quick. Let's take a step back.
Okay.
Are chimpanzees mammals?
Say what?
Are chimpanzees like a chimp or an ape, like a gorilla or like an orangutan?
Yeah.
Are they
Yeah,
mammals?
they're animals. Yeah, they're animals. They're animals.
Are they okay? Okay, so they're mammals and they're animals, right?
Right.
Why are they mammals?
Well, they're animals. They got fur and they lactate, like you said. They're animals. They're
Exactly.
different species. They're different species than humans. Humans are a different species than animals.
Do humans have hair?
Well, we have hair, yeah.
Do human females who give birth to offspring breastfeed them? Do they lactate?
Yes.
Okay, so humans are mammals and mammals are animals. So humans, like chimpanzees and like gorillas, are animals. Are we on the same page with that?
We are.
Okay, so let's talk about why humans are apes. Do humans have tails?
No.
No, we don't have tails, right? Do we have pretty big brains? Like bigger brains than like a dog would have for its body size?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have a childhood? Like, do we take a long time to grow up? Do we have to take a bunch of years before we can leave our parents or else we'll die in the wild?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have long, skinny backs or short backs that let us stand upright?
Yeah. I'm not doubting.
Right.
I'm not doubting you though with similarities.
Yeah, but that's how you categorize an ape. Like, there's no way to categorize all apes as separate from like old world monkeys, like baboons, without accidentally including humans as apes. Right? Like, there's no way to do it. So humans are, by our physical characteristics, apes, and we're mammals, and we're animals. Right? You can go all the way up or all the way down the list. This is just how we categorize things.
All right. Can we stop here?
Yes.
So on the theory of God creating Adam and Eve, was Adam an ape that he created?
Did Adam have hair?
I mean, no. I'm asking, was he an ape? And was Eve an ape?
We're gonna go through the characteristics. Did Adam and Eve both have hair?
Well, technically, I don't know because I wasn't living back then. But yeah, I guess.
Sure.
Well, we can ask different ones then.
Yeah, could Eve breastfeed her babies? Like when she had Cain and Abel, could she feed them at her breast? She wasn't using a bottle, right?
Yeah.
She wasn't using a bottle. They weren't invented yet. So she's breastfeeding them, right? So Adam and Eve were mammals, and mammals are animals. So Adam and Eve were both mammals and animals. Check. Did Adam and Eve's kids have a long childhood? They did, right? Did they have tails? No, they didn't have tails.
You're asking me a whole bunch of questions that I don't know. This is theory.
You can ask. So first of all, it's not, but that's not the point. The second thing, like you can even ask other. There's lots of other things. Did they have fingernails? Yes. Okay, so they were primates, right? Did they have stereoscopic vision? Did they have eyes in the front of their head? Yeah, probably so. If they were, humans look like the point is, humans are great apes. If Adam and Eve were humans, then they would also be great apes. And now, of course, we don't believe that Adam and Eve actually existed, but that's a different question entirely. All we're trying to get through now, you don't need evolution, you don't need creationism. We can get to those things later. All we're trying to hammer out right now is that no matter how you slice it, the classification that we use for all life on Earth firmly and unequivocally says that humans are definitely 100% great apes. We are animals, we are chordates, we are mammals, we are primates, we are great apes. Those are all things that we are.
So there's no change in your mind on that.
So you could change our mind. Yeah, I was about to say the same thing you were, Erika. You go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, if you can show that humans living today as a population, don't have the characteristics that define great apes, or that define apes generally, or that define catarrhine primates, or that define primates generally, or that define chordates, or I should say mammals generally, or vertebrates generally, or chordates generally, or animals generally. Like, if you could find characteristics in humans that don't nest us within those categories, you could totally change our mind. The problem is every human that has ever existed, with zero exceptions that we are aware of, every single time has had the characteristics that make a human, and that make a human a great ape, and that make a human an ape generally, and that make a human a primate, and a mammal, and an animal, and so on and so forth, right? So it's like, you would have to show an exception to that.
Follow? I'm asking, do apes follow? Like if an ape, was in school and then was looking at the other ape, does the other ape follow what the other ape does?
Yes.
Yes.
So they learn that way.
Yes, chimpanzee mothers teach their kids how to use tools so that they can survive in the wild.
Yes, generational learning, generational knowledge being passed down. Yes, they absolutely do that. Also, they do have social hierarchy, just like we do as well, where you'll have like one that's really like the kind of the big guy that everybody looks up to and respects and things like that. So yeah, everything that humans do, you can see it in other animals. Love, compassion, grief, empathy, morality, education, democracy, like all of these different things, justice. You can see all of these things in different animals. These are all differences of degree, not differences of type. So like humans do these things a lot more than other animals, but other animals do different things that humans do a lot more than humans do. And that doesn't mean that they're not animals anymore. It's just every type of animal is just a little better at some things and a little worse at some other things. We're not very good at smelling, but we're really good at speaking. And that makes us humans.
Okay. Well, I think we're done here. Then
why?
Yeah.
What did this? Did anything we say change your mind about creationism?
No, it put me in perspective to where your mindset is at.
So let's get into your mindset for a second then. Let's explore where you're coming from. If you don't believe that humans are animals, then how does that get you to creationism?
Well, I can tell you everything that I have done in my life, but you won't believe me because you believe what you have read, whether it's on, posted on the internet or what you can Google or what you have known in a book or whatever you read. You won't go off and believe.
Bevan, are you aware that the first person to recognize that humans and other apes were extremely similar to one another, similar enough to be within the same group, like how a dog is to a coyote or like a dog is to a wolf? That guy's name was Carlos Linnaeus, right? He was a creationist and he lived before evolution was ever invented, right? Like he lived in the 1700s and the Google wasn't around. textbooks with evolution weren't around. Charles Darwin hadn't even been born yet. And he was able to look at the physical similarities, the skeletons of other apes and of humans. And he was able to say, yup, God designed humans to look like apes. So humans are apes. He called us anthropomorpha, but this was the same category back then.
Well, I mean, okay, you say God designed humans to look like, mimic apes. Apes are one of the better animals with, with two limbs, hands and feet, and, like humans do. It enables humans to grasp better, better than a dog or a cat or a lion or something like that. It's a human has the better capabilities of any other, I guess, animals in air quotes in the animal kingdom. So technically that will put us above the lion, tigers, and bears because we have dominated the animal kingdom. If we're animals.
So can we agree then that humans are physically animals and physically mammals and physically apes, even if you want to say perhaps there's something extra that humans have, but our bodies are those of apes, of primates, of mammals.
Okay.
Can we agree on that?
But I mean, I'm saying the only thing that makes us different than apes, we can communicate. We can verbally communicate no matter the language, and then we have through that communication, Bevan, we have the ability to. What?
Sorry, Bevan, that's also not true. Is that once again, like I said a minute ago, this is a difference in degree, not a difference in type. There are plenty of other primate species that can communicate verbally and non-verbally. Chimpanzees have a repertoire of gestures that are about on par with a human toddler. There are species like Campbell's monkeys and vervets, I believe, that not only have different alarm calls for different predators, but they even have prefixes and suffixes depending on if they saw the predator themselves, or if that guy saw the predator and told them, or if the predator is coming from above or from below. Like this is not a complete language. Yeah, so these are animals that also have proto-language. We just took it 10 steps further. It's the exact same thing. We just capitalized on
it. I agree with you 100%. But I'm saying that we are the dominant species in communication. You got to agree with that. You have to agree.
I don't. Sorry.
So if what you're saying is that language is like language as humans do it is currently the present guys that live on this planet, language as humans use it is unique to humans. I am unaware of another animal that has a human language, like that uses the human language as their de facto communication system. That's true. But the problem is that's not a difference in category, right? Like the types of communication systems that we see in these other primates, or like people have used, whales and dolphins as an example, or elephants as an example, like their communication systems aren't that different from the type of communication that we see in human children or in human infants. And yet I don't think anybody on this planet would say that a baby is incapable of communicating with its mother. Right? Like a baby is capable of communicating with its mom in all kinds of ways. So if other animals are doing that type of communication, then their level of communication is in the human range. It just doesn't get taken to the same extreme as humans do. So again, we fall back on how are humans different? We are different. Every animal has its area that it's different in, right? Than every other animal, as Forrest said earlier. But that's not a categorical difference. It's a difference in degree. We're on the same slider, if that makes sense.
Okay. What we have met on this conversation right now is what I call a crossroad, a cross path, or whatever. I don't know that I'm going to create terminology, but it's like a barrier limit to where I am unable to change your mind to make you see the difference. I'm unable to make you see into my mind.
You could. All you have to do is show Forrest and I something that, like some observation or some, quantified.
I just told you.
data, and
I just told you. I have created a lot of things, but I can't make you believe. I can't make you believe anything. Huh?
Bevan, those weren't true things, right? Like you said, communication is something that only humans do, and then we gave you reasons why
not just communication. It's one big thing. Like
okay,
we wouldn't be able to talk on this phone if it wasn't for me. But you don't believe that. You believe.
Let's go through all of the things.
Listen to me.
What's number one?
We cannot communicate on this phone right now like we're doing if I had not lived the life that I'm living.
So technology
would not exist. Technology would not exist if it weren't for me. Technology.
Okay.
In its
so let's call
entirety.
it technology. Yeah. So technology. Cool.
Huh? Yeah.
If technology is what makes if technology is what makes a human, is a human child incapable of inventing a cell phone not a human?
I don't understand. What?
Like my niece, right, and my nephew, they can't make a cell phone. They don't even know how to use a cell phone. One of them is like a literal baby, right? But she's still a human, even though she can't physically make a cell phone. She's still a human, right? In fact, we can go back in time and we can look at a human adult 100 years ago, or 200 years ago, or 1,000 years ago, or 10,000 years ago. And none of them are going to be able to talk using a cell phone because cell phones didn't exist because humans couldn't make them yet. Were they less human because they couldn't invent a cell phone? Were they just animals because they couldn't make a cell phone?
I don't know. I just told you that I made it possible. I put my blood on the satellite, the first satellite in space. But you don't believe that. You just hear me, so you listen to me talk, so you can respond.
Exactly.
Now that's interesting. Now first I got to pee.
That's a whole other thing.
Please field the satellite blood thing for me.
I'm not gonna. I want to ask a different thing entirely, which is that you said earlier on that you can't convince us of anything, and therefore this conversation may not be worth your time. But like the fact of the matter is, Erika and I are both scientists. We both are biologists. We've spent years and years of our lives and way too much money going to school and earning degrees, learning about biology. We care about the truth. So if you know something that's real that we don't know, we do want to hear it. You could change our minds. So I want to get into your perspective. You told us that you put your blood on a satellite, and I don't see what that has to do with evolution.
Blood code. I looked into my blood and found the code, and then I made it possible to join the whole world together. That is a sign of evolution. But if you don't believe that's a deterrent of
How is
evolution.
it a sign of evolution? How is it a sign of evolution? Because remember, the definition of evolution is a change in the heritable characteristics of a population over the course of multiple generations. So how does you putting your blood on a satellite change the DNA of human beings?
Because if you believe that I did it and not Steve Jobs did it or whoever did it or what, Mark Zuckerberg or whatever, who all the many people who stole, stole from me to get their name out there to make you believe. That is the deterrence of evolution, a proper evolution. Because you don't believe me, because how they made it possible is they changed all the knowledge in the books and everything that you Googled. They changed Google. I actually created Google. Huh?
Bevan, what about not knowing the truth of something in history changes your DNA or prevents your DNA from changing?
I just told you.
You told me that you invented Google and you put your name on and all these satellites, you did all this stuff, and that all these people stole a bunch of stuff from you. Whatever. I'm asking you, how does any of that affect actual evolution, which is the change in heritable characteristics from generation to generation? When somebody gives birth to their child and their child has slightly different DNA than them, how is that affected by someone stealing your inventions from you?
Okay, all right, listen. You just said whatever. So that deterrence of what the statement that I made, that deterrence that all the knowledge that you look up now from the time that I made Google and then put my blood on the satellite, they changed of the knowledge that you look up and both y'all, you look up it's all false. It's all
You're
falsified. So you're looking at false knowledge.
you're back again to the same thing, which doesn't change anything. It doesn't matter
Well, you're not
if I
listening to me.
lie to somebody. If I lie to somebody and teach them a bunch of things that aren't true, and they go and read a bunch of false books and they learn a bunch of false things, none of that changes the way that their DNA works. I'm asking you,
Sure it does.
how does any of
Sure
what
it
you're
does.
saying change humans' DNA?
Sure, it does. The knowledge that you ingest is a frequency of alignment. So if you learn false information, that misaligns your brain and misaligns your cells. So it physically changes your DNA through the truth.
So this is all 100% against everything that we know about biology. So I'm forced to now ask you really fundamental, basic questions about what DNA is to see if you're even on the same page with that. And I don't want to be patronizing to you, but like that's the level that you've taken this to now.
What? I don't understand. What I mean, what do you don't understand?
Do you know what DNA is, Bevan?
Yeah. Do you?
I do.
Mine
I've
has
spent
been
about a decade studying it. So I'm curious to know, can you like just give me a mechanism then that learning something incorrect can cause a DNA mutation? And also tell me what kind of mutation it would be.
You know the movie Jurassic Park, right? The first one.
Yep, I do.
Where he took out that strand of DNA, right?
Mhm.
The
Yep,
doctor, the DNA scientist,
I
took
know
out
it.
that strand of
I know
DNA.
it.
All right, so
I know it.
if you take out a strand of any DNA, like human beings, that changes their DNA structure. That changes their brain. That changes
No, it
everything
doesn't.
about them. If you check it,
How much
does it
DNA?
not?
How many cells in
How
your
does it
body?
not? Wait. How does it not? How does it not? How does it not? If you take out a strand of DNA.
Because if I take a strand of DNA out of somebody, I'm taking it out of a cell or maybe some cells. In order to change the DNA in their body, I would need to take it out of every single one of their cells that have DNA. Do you know how many of your cells in your body have DNA?
Right.
Bevan?
Right. So making everybody on the planet, at least in the States, take a vaccine doesn't change your DNA. Doesn't change the structure of your DNA.
Once again, can you give me a mechanism by which a vaccine can even get into your nuclear envelope?
Well, mercury gets in anything. Mercury, we have a natural form. We produce a natural.
Can you tell me how much mercury? How you tell me how much mercury is in any given vaccine?
I don't have a. I didn't have a. I didn't have a capability
to look at honest thing
you've
said. That's the first honest thing you said, Bevan, is I don't know.
Everything that I have told you, everything that I told you has been honest.
Just working my way forward here. The mercury that is used or used to be used, because now it's been outlawed, but the mercury that was used in vaccine production was used as a preservative and something to kill any pathogens that could be in there, any bacteria or whatever like that. It was not just pure mercury. And it also was not present in the actual vaccines. If it was in trace amounts. You would have to break, like you would have to take hundreds of vaccines every day for years to be exposed to the same amount of mercury as you would be exposed to if you broke one single fluorescent light bulb, which also have mercury in them. So that doesn't make any sense. Second of all, mercury does not allow things to get into your nuclear envelope like that. That doesn't make any sense. Even if you did get things into your nuclear envelope, just getting a vaccine into the nucleus of your cell, which is where your DNA live, does not change your DNA. You need an enzyme called reverse transcriptase and double-stranded DNA to do that, which COVID vaccines, which were mRNA based, did not have that kind of genetic material in them. So that is also impossible. Also, that doesn't mean you're removing any strands of DNA from anybody. Pulling a little bit of DNA from a sample like you saw in Jurassic Park does not mean removing the same strand of DNA from every single cell in your entire body. Also, you have trillions of cells in your body. The only ones that don't have DNA are erythrocytes and cornified cells, and you don't have any way to adjust all of those cells in your body, and absolutely none of that changes your brain structure. So here you have just example after example after example after example of you not knowing the first fucking thing about what you're talking about. And the best thing you can say in response to that is that every bit of what I just said is wrong because I learned it from universities, and that you actually know the truth. The problem is the university level of knowledge that I've acquired and everything that I just told you is the reason why all of biomedical science works. The reason why you are able to get the medicine that you live on today. The reason why human lifespan is more than 30 years is because of the science that I just regurgitated to you. That is the only thing you can say is that that's not true, which means you're back in the fucking Stone Age. So at the end of the day, Bevan, you have a bunch of crazy fucking beliefs, and I've been very charitable with you to sit here and listen to them without calling you out on them, but it is beyond apparent that you don't know what you are talking about. Erika, what are you thinking?
I was going to ask Bevan, maybe you already asked this while I was gone, but like, in your opinion, Bevan, like what is DNA? Like what do you
we did ask that, and we talked about Jurassic Park.
We did. Well, I heard the Jurassic Park bit, but I was wondering about that
was the response to my that was the response to my question. What is DNA?
That it was the stuff from okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd love for you to ask him again. I would love to. No, what we learned is that he put his blood on a satellite, and he also invented Google, and that Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs and everybody stole all of his inventions and then corrupted the internet to spread false information, because if we learn false information, that changes our brain, which changes our DNA, which stops us from evolving properly. That's what we got to.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you, Forrest. I feel like if we continue this conversation, it's us being bullies. Like, I feel like I feel like if we continue this, we're just sort of milking Bevan here for laughs, which, whatever. But I don't know that we're going to get anywhere or mutually understand each other any better.
To the point where we could, I let it roll to the point where we could very confidently show that Bevan doesn't know the first thing about fucking anything. And rather than just saying, hey, that's a crazy belief, we're not going to take the call, I wanted to really demonstrate to Bevan, hopefully, Bevan, maybe you picked up on something here, and the something you should have picked up on is that you're making shit up, and literally everybody can tell.
I picked up something, all right, and it's Devin, Devin, or David.
Well, it's not what you put in the fucking call screen. I don't know what you're thinking. What I've got written here is Bevan. That's what you wrote down, but whatever. Anyway, Bevan, learn what words mean before you argue against them, and go file a lawsuit against Steve Jobs. It'll be great. Talk to you later. Now, can we take another call, Arden? Since that one sucked so bad, can we open one more line for somebody who's a little bit more serious? That'd be fun.
Hey, thanks for watching that clip. Did you know we saw what you were doing when you watched it?
We saw all of it. All of it. All of it.
All of it. So you're going to want to pay us hush money over at patreon.com/calltheline, where you can buy our silence and watch our patron exclusive podcast.